And I'd like to welcome you all to our brand new Lunch Club Travel Edition, where today we'll be learning about Nyepi, a celebration that occurs in Bali, but we're going to be learning about Indonesia as well. And thank you so much for participating. So today, again, keeping things pretty simple. We're all going to be learning a lot today as well. So really look forward to the session. We're going to be learning all about Indonesia, all about Bali, what is Nyepi, and we'll be doing some Bali trivia as well. So thinking ahead, definitely pay close attention to the Bali section. So, you can have the most luck in our trivia today. All right. So first up is Indonesia. So again, based on our previous question, none of us have visited Indonesia before. So I thought this super quick history of Indonesia will be helpful for us. Hope you guys enjoy, learn about, and please share any new things that you learned after the video.
Hello everyone, and welcome to... This is Asia, and here's Indonesia. Now let's go, shall we? Indonesia is a hulking tropical archipelago brimming with volcanoes and rainforest and marvelous creatures. A land of typhoons and monsoons, and over 17,000 islands and islets, the most populated being Java. That's Sumatra, that's Sulawesi, that's Bali, and as you see, Indonesia shares Borneo, New Guinea, and Timor with other states. Now this gargantuan assortment of equatorial isles was never unified into a single sovereign state until fairly recently. Before that, its variegated segments were as separated as its hundreds of different languages. Indonesia's prehistory is a fossilized conundrum, but things get more discernible with the arrival many millennia ago of the Melanesians, who hunted and hand-printed their way through the jungle. Their descendants today dwell in the nation's east, but the country's ethnic majority spring from the Austronesians, who set sail from Taiwan and arrived first in Sulawesi, and then, around the time the Egyptians were assembling the Great Pyramid, disembarked on Java, Sumatra, Borneo and Timor, bringing rice and pigs and pottery. Though originally animists who worshipped their ancestors, the islands of Indonesia eagerly absorbed the culture and spirituality of India, including Hinduism and Buddhism. One of the earliest Indonesian kingdoms was a Hindu one. The 7th century saw the rise of the Srivijaya kingdom on Sumatra, which gained considerable wealth and power from trade via its grip on the naval routes linking India to China. As you see, the Srivijaya artists were highly skilled. Of course, the presence of plenty always lures predators, and the state was handicapped by the invasion of Rajendra Chola and slowly declined thereafter. Meanwhile, on Java, we spot the ascent of the Madang kingdom, whose mysterious Sailendra dynasty constructed the extraordinary Borobudur, the world's biggest Buddhist temple in the early 9th century. The Hindu Sanjaya dynasty followed and built Indonesia's biggest Hindu temple, the Prambanan. The Javanese were apparently so pleased with these architectural wonders that they built some more. A lot more. Then Mr. Marapi here erupted in the early 900s and put a stop to it all. Our focus now shifts to eastern Java, where the power subsequently concentrated. In the late 1200s, the Mongol Emperor of China sent emissaries to the island to demand tribute, but the Javanese disfigured the envoys and sent them packing, and I suspect they may have shouted, "This is Java!" before kicking them out. Naturally, the emperor was outraged and ordered a huge invasion. Enter Raden Wijaya. He cleverly allied with the invading Mongols to defeat a rival for the throne, after which he turned against the Mongols, who, while almost invincible on open plains, were more than a little inconvenienced in the thick, hot, dripping climate of Java. After 2 months of guerrilla warfare, the weary Mongols retreated, and Wijaya went on to establish the mighty Majapahit Empire, a majestic maritime mercantile power, like a sort of tropical Venice. It reached its apex under the king Hayam Wuruk and his talented prime minister Gajah Mada, and while the Hindu faith was currently very strong, Muslim merchants had consistently made sure to preach of Allah and his Prophet Muhammad, and they did quite a job, for today Islam is the majority religion of Indonesia. So by the 1500s there were sultans and everything, but the islands of Indonesia with their valued spices caught the attention of Europe. The Portuguese were the first from that continent to settle in the islands and nuzzle into the trade, but their ambition to acquire the monopoly of commerce suffered a setback with the entrance of the Dutch, who by the early 1600s were already muscling the Portuguese out of ports and forts, though they couldn't couldn't expel them from Eastern Timor. The first permanent Dutch settlement was Banten in Western Java, and they meant business in the fullest sense of the term, seen with the conquest of the Banda Islands by the merciless Jon Pieterszoon Koen. When the Sultan of Central Java, Agung of Mataram, set out and successfully conquered surrounding regions, he turned his attentions to the Dutch and besieged them twice, but without success. The Dutch elbowed the Portuguese out even more and invited Chinese workers to Batavia, present-day Jakarta. But relations became uneasy, and when, in 1740, Chinese sugar mill workers revolted and killed 50 Dutch soldiers, whispers circulated among the multi-ethnic citizens that the Chinese planned to kill them all. Chinese homes were burned, and it escalated into massacre, and some 10,000 Chinese were butchered under the eyes of Governor Adriaan Volkenier, who was later arrested and died in prison. Now, while the Dutch East India Company had entrenched itself in the area, the cost of maintenance and administration and rebellion quashing drained away resources. Furthermore, corruption and competition from other powers, like the British in India, meant the company ended up bankrupt and was taken over by the Dutch government. After a brief time of French and British command, the Dutch regained control, crushed a rebellion led by Prince Diponakoro, and the governor, Johannes van den Bos, instituted a forced labor system to increase revenue. There was war in Bali and in Borneo and the Aceh region of Sumatra, prompting the Achenese to declare jihad against the invaders, but to no avail, and the Dutch East Indies expanded, and as if to vent the region's frustrations, Krakatoa exploded in one of history's biggest and loudest volcanic eruptions. The Dutch continued to snap up more land till 1920, with the taking of northwest New Guinea, and thus the Dutch East Indies attained its greatest extent. Though the Hollanders were introducing reforms and trinkets of modernity and extending education to the indigenous inhabitants, the future Indonesians never stopped fighting for freedom, and activists began promoting their ideas to the people, whilst forming political parties ranging from communist to Islamic-based. Still, it was pretty clear that something very big would be needed to drive the Dutch out. And then something very big happened. World War II. The Japanese invaded Indonesia in 1942 and swiftly took control. And though Indonesians welcomed them as liberators, it soon became clear that the Japanese simply saw Indonesia as a good place to get stuff and supply their troops. The Japanese subjugated millions of Indonesians to forced labor, and millions ended up dead. However, the Japanese interim gave the independence movement its needed boost, and after the Japanese surrender in 1945, Indonesia declared its independence, with socialist Sukarno as first president. The Dutch were like, what? And there was a, one guess, war. That's right. It was an ugly, messy affair. But in 1949, the Netherlands finally agreed to relinquish its colonial claims, and Indonesia was free. But not free from trouble. The country was a muddle of mixed ambitions, some pushing for secularism, others for an Islamic state. Sukarno struggled to instill a sense of unity, but as the economy faltered and as his sympathies veered closer to communism, the army, in 1965, undertook a vicious purge of communists, slaughtering over 500,000, and then Sukarno himself was ousted, and in 1967, General Suharto assumed power as a military dictator. However, since he was anti-communist, the West supported him during the Cold War, and Indonesia's economic standing improved, though corruption was rampant. In 1975, Portugal renounced its colony of East Timor, and Indonesia invaded and took over, much to the discontent of the East Timorese. Indonesian forces were accused of multiple human rights abuses, but still retained the political support of countries like the US, UK, Japan, and Australia. That is, until 1991, when the Santa Cruz massacre shocked the world, and when 1997's Asian financial crisis struck, Suharto's remaining legitimacy dissipated, and he resigned. East Timor gained independence in 2002, the same year as the horrific Bali bombings, where Islamists killed 202 people, mostly tourists. The country was then pounded by earthquake and tsunami, leaving over 100,000 people dead. In the years after, Indonesia enjoyed steady financial growth, and today has achieved a high level of human development, and the world's 16th biggest economy. A fascinating country, crammed with culture and delicious dishes and brilliant badminton players. That's Indonesia, and that's all from me for now. Bye-bye!
Wow, quite a history, right, you guys?
Yeah, that was kind of fast and a lot to take in.
I
He's
know.
so fast talking.
Yeah. You have
I
to go back
know.
and listen to that again.
Yeah, definitely check it out on YouTube for that history of Indonesia. Any takeaway thoughts from the video? Anything that stuck out to you all?
Oh my God,
Yeah, a lot. Oh.
that's too much.
Well, the changeover from the different, the British and the the Dutch and the
Hmm.
Portuguese, and I mean, there was a lot of people went through there.
And India mixed
Yeah, in
in with
India. Yeah.
them. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Indonesia consists of a lot of different parts of different other islands and countries. So even if you just look at a map of Indonesia, it's quite,
Yeah,
amazing what all the different parts and how biodiverse it is, I think, with that we'll learn about as well.
17,000 island mixed in with them.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There's
a
so many
that's a
different.
lot.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Yeah.
you could go to any part that you like. So it's I
Hot
think it's again
on.
just amazing. Yep, yep, yeah. Any other thoughts for Indonesia before we go on to Bali and learn more about that? Okay, again, make sure you rewatch that video, check it out, but also do some additional research as well. Indonesia has such a rich history, so that was kind of fast. Definitely want to learn more. And again, thanks so much for watching. Okay, so 1 second, you all, just to go on to our next topic, is again Bali. So we're going to learn a little bit about specifically Bali's history and why it's an Hindu island in a Muslim country. So again, hope you guys enjoy, learn something new, and thanks so much for watching.
You must have heard of Bali, the enchanting island in Indonesia. A tropical paradise known for its picturesque beaches with Aussie and Kiwi surfers, volcanoes, rice fields, and lush landscapes, and a vibrant culture with spiritual tranquility. Bali stands out as a cultural and religious anomaly within the predominantly Muslim archipelago. While Indonesia is the world's most populous Muslim majority nation, with over 87% of the population adhering to Islam, Bali embraces Hinduism as its primary religion. Before we proceed with the story, a small request. Alive and Curious is a new channel and would love to have your support. And I will try my best to make the content as insanely good as possible. So if you like what I say and do, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now back to the story. Approximately 83% of the total population in Bali is Hindu. Bali is a treasure trove of Hindu heritage, with numerous temples like the famous Uluwatu temple, Tanah Lot, Besakhi, and the Tirtha Temple. As you drive across Bali, you will see statues of Hindu gods along the roads, and people placing offerings in front of their houses. This peculiar coexistence of Hinduism in a predominantly Muslim country has deep historical, cultural, and political roots that make Bali a fascinating and unique enclave. So how did Bali become Hindu and stayed that way within a Muslim majority country? Let's find out. Our journey begins with the ancient maritime trade routes that connected India to Southeast Asia. Indian traders sailed across the Indian Ocean, bringing not only goods but also cultural exchanges to the islands of this archipelago. Historical records indicate that the maritime trade between India and Southeast Asia dates back to at least the 1st century AD. The first most important empire in Bali's religious journey was the Srivijaya Empire, a powerful maritime kingdom that thrived from the 7th to the 14th centuries, which had extensive contact with India. Srivijaya's maritime dominance extended to the Straits of Malacca, connecting Indian Ocean trade routes to China. Srivijaya's capital Palembang, which is present-day Indonesia, became a major center of trade and cultural exchange. The influence of Indian culture, including Hinduism and Buddhism, permeated the Srivijaya Empire and subsequently spread to nearby regions, including Bali. Indian traders, priests, and scholars provided a pivotal role in this cultural exchange. These intrepid individuals not only brought goods, but also carried with them religious texts, rituals, and the Brahmanic tradition. Sanskrit inscriptions found in Southeast Asia, including Bali, attest to the influence of Indian traders and priests. The Sailendra dynasty in the 8th and the 9th century, centered in Java, also played a pivotal role. Their patronage to both Hinduism and Buddhism left an indelible mark. The construction of Borobudur, a colossal Buddhist monument, stands as a testament to the syncretic nature of the religious landscape in the region. Borobudur, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is the world's largest Buddhist temple. Hindu epics such as the Ramayana and Mahabharata arrived in Bali and had a profound impact on its cultural and religious fabric. These tales provided moral and religious teachings that resonated with the local population. In the 14th century, Majapahit Empire emerged as a Hindu-Buddhist powerhouse. With its strong ties to India, the Majapahit Empire embraced Hinduism as the state religion. The Majapahit Empire at its height controlled territories stretching from Sumatra to Papua. But then Majapahit faced political turmoil and the encroachment of Islamic kingdoms in Java, and Bali then became a refuge for fleeing nobles, bringing with them the legacy of Indianized culture and Hindu traditions. But it wasn't just a one-way street. Bali didn't just adopt Hinduism, it adapted it. Hinduism practiced in India is a little different from the one that is practiced in Bali. Over the centuries, Bali's Hinduism evolved and integrated with the local Balinese animist traditions, creating a unique blend of religious practices, rituals, and ceremonies. Balinese Hinduism, characterized by its devotion to a pantheon of deities, elaborate ceremonies, and vibrant arts, reflects a synthesis of Indian Hinduism, Buddhism, and indigenous beliefs. The Balinese people have seamlessly woven their elements into their daily lives, festivals, and art forms, fostering a distinct cultural identity. What is fascinating is that Bali managed to stay Hindu, even though the majority of regions around Bali had adopted Islam. Islam came to Indonesia through Arab traders in the 13th century. When Arab traders became influential in Southeast Asian trade networks, they also became influential in the kingdoms of Indonesia. In contrast to the Hindu and Buddhist influence, Islam's culture and teachings were uniform, so there was little room for hybrid belief systems. By the 17th century, most of the kingdoms centered around the western and northern parts of Indonesia had converted to Islam, while the more remote Greater Sunda Islands maintained the Hindu, Buddhist, and animist belief systems. Bali's geographical isolation as an island may have played a role in preserving its distinct identity. Being surrounded by the sea, Bali has maintained a certain level of autonomy, allowing its culture and religion to evolve without direct influence from neighboring regions. Indonesia, despite being the world's largest Muslim majority country, is characterized by religious pluralism. The Indonesian constitution recognizes multiple religions, including Hinduism, and promotes tolerance. This legal framework has allowed Bali to maintain its Hindu identity within the broader context of Indonesia. The Balinese people have demonstrated a strong commitment to preserving their culture and religious heritage. Balinese Hinduism is deeply ingrained in everyday life, from rituals and ceremonies to arts and dance. This cultural resilience has contributed to the continuity of Hindu practices on the island. Bali's emergence as a global tourist destination has brought economic benefits to the island. The global exposure has also heightened awareness and appreciation for Bali's unique Hindu culture. The economic and cultural significance of tourism has encouraged the preservation of Balinese Hindu traditions. Bali's status as a Hindu enclave in a Muslim majority nation is a captivating story of historical migrations, cultural assimilation, and religious pluralism. This island stands as a shining example of how diverse religious and cultural traditions can coexist harmoniously, contributing to the vibrant tapestry of Indonesia's national identity. Bali's Hindu heritage, deeply rooted in the past, continues to thrive in the present, making it a truly extraordinary destination where ancient traditions meet the modern world. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you. See you in the next one.
Okay, that was so interesting. I love looking at the UNESCO World Heritage Site. You know, there was a beautiful temple, the greenery, the biodiversity there. I mean, it's amazing. And any thoughts on this video that you all have? Anything that stuck out to you? You can unmute yourself and share.
Yes, those buildings. How did they build those buildings? I don't get it. They had help.
I agree, Brenda.
They had to have help. I mean, they were just so intricately built, and those statues.
Yeah.
The
architecture is awesome.
Yes.
Look at this right here, you all.
I know it. And you know what? The other video you showed, the head where the kings were wearing emulated those buildings.
Mm-hmm.
All the little, yeah.
Yes.
Look at it. Look at it.
That.
Now you know they had help.
Like, this is beautiful right here, right?
It is.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Awesome.
It is. It's beautiful. Yeah. Look at the statue.
Look, Brenda.
How they get that gold up there on his head? that's very high up in the sky. I mean, come on, y'all.
Mm.
Right, like beautiful, right?
It
You see
is.
that
It's beautiful.
over
And
there?
it's so intricate and I mean, you just wonder how people who did not have chisels and all this kind of modern stuff
Look at that.
how they did that, you
Mm,
know.
Look at that.
Yeah,
But
look at that one.
yeah,
They
amazing.
had help.
God's intervention.
They put their mind to it. See.
That's right.
It's all done by hand.
Yep.
My hand. People who had a calling in life and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
and
they had.
That
yeah.
was the divine one. I tell
That's you had. Thank you, Louise.
you.
Yes.
That
Look
is certainly
at
right.
that.
It's so amazing. I love they mentioned the Constitution where they recognize multiple religions and they
Mhm.
tolerance. That's amazing. And the bit of I never realized when you're an island, you really do have a bit more autonomy than if you had neighboring states or countries. So,
Mhm.
that just makes me think of Hawaii and like Australia and just those kind of more remote places. I mean, they really do preserve their culture very well.
Mhm.
That just makes me think of other islands and how
Yeah.
unique they are.
I think these places were more advanced than we know about or that we give them credit for. And with all the wars that have come along, they've had to start all over again. So we think that they don't have the capability to do all these things.
With
Mm.
some help.
Yeah.
Brenda said they had help.
And you
They
know what?
might have.
Those monkeys there. I mean, those are wild. I don't think they're monkeys. I think there's something else. But I seen a
We'll see.
video where tourists are watching them and they come snatch their belongings from them.
Mhm.
So I don't know if those are the same kind or not. But I don't think I want to be that close to them.
That's close.
This is real. This is what I will tell you because I no spoilers. This is real. So I mean it's just it's amazing just to know that this occurs in just a small little island.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
I'm with you, Brenda. I don't want that thing crawling on me.
Yeah, they look kind of close.
Yeah, that looks a little
Yeah.
too close comfort.
Just look at this, you all. I love the water. I love the
Oh,
greenery.
that's
I love
gorgeous.
the architecture. It's lovely.
Now, who built that
Mhm.
on a mountain
Wow.
I mean,
overlooking the water?
on a side,
Oh, on the
there's
side of
The
a mountain.
side.
yeah.
Wow.
It's beautiful, but I don't think we're the only ones in existence. There are some others
I agree.
that we're not aware of, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they had help.
Oh, well, thank you all so much. I'm glad you guys liked the video. I'm learning a lot as well. I'm not too familiar with Indonesia, so it's great to learn about these different things. So next up is Nyepi. So we're gonna learn what it is, how do they celebrate it, and see some videos, see what went on last year, and what will occur this year. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's learn some short facts about Nyepi.
Hey, Ken kabare? Welcome to Speak Balinese, the place you learn Balinese language. I'm Kade who wanna share and teach you Balinese language. Wait, not subscribed yet? Please help to support me in this channel. Thank you. Hi, in this video I wanna share about Nyepi Day in Bali. I think it's very important for you to know before traveling to Bali because it's only happen in Bali. I believe that we all know most Balinese are Hindus. Based on their Saka calendar, Nyepi is a new year for Balinese Hindus. Nyepi is a public holiday in Indonesia, but it celebrates only in Bali, which is known as a day of silence. For Balinese Hindus, there are 4 main rituals on Nyepi Day. Amati Geni means no fire, Amati Karya, no work, Amati Lelangon, no pleasure, Amati Lelungan means no traffic.
Take a second to look at these different rituals and customs of Nyepi. Fire, no work, no pleasure, no traffic. So
No
let's look
life.
at it.
Nyepi, or a day of silence, is a tradition that began in the past where Balinese must do a self-reflection on the behavior they have been doing in the past few years. They also believed that a silence for a whole day could drive away the evil spirits from Bali. It makes a very unique experience. The whole island is in silence for 24 hours. That means everyone who stay in Bali on Nyepi Day must respect or follow the Nyepi rituals. That's why on that day all shops are closed, airport is closed, no flights in or no flight out, no traffic at all. So we must stay at home. And for you as visitor must stay at the hotels, no activities outside. The other important things we should know: we cannot make any loud of noise, cannot light a big fire or lights. Everything must be kept in low. Only emergencies are taken into consideration and tolerated. So in this year, Nyepi will be held on 7 March. It will begin at 6 in the morning on 7 March. It will go on until the next 24 hours or finish on the next day at 6 in the morning on 8 March. One day before Nyepi, known as Pengerupukan Day, there will be ogoh-ogoh parade in all Bali's big street, usually start at 6 in the evening. Ogoh-ogoh is a big statue made from bamboo and paper. It is representation of evil creatures. If you want to watch ogoh-ogoh parade in Denpasar, I will suggest you to go to Puputan Square. On the day after Nyepi, known as Ngembak Geni, all activity is back to normal. There is a unique celebration in Denpasar named Omed-Omedan. This is a kissing festival. It will be held in the street in Sesetan, Denpasar, where the young women and men in this village will kiss each other, then other villagers will splash water to them. It's super exciting to watch. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it.
So that's Nyepi in Bali. We're gonna watch some more videos and you'll learn that it's not on the same day each and every year as well. And it can occur in April too. But any thoughts on the celebration? It's a day of silence for 24 hours. There's preparations before, a celebration after. So that was really interesting. Well, what did you all learn from the video?
I know that I could never live there for 24 hours and not say something. I'm being honest. Good Lord, the guy would have to close my mouth, okay?
Okay.
I don't like
Well,
that.
it's literally not like a whole day. It's just make sure keep everything low. There's no traffic, there's no fires or lights or like electricity in a way. So it's a day of self-reflection. So, of course you could speak to yourself for others. You just have to stay in your
The 7th month.
I think you can talk, but you have to keep it low and talk inside with
No
the kids
noise.
inside. Yeah, no noise.
Mhm.
yes.
That kissing thing, I don't know. Everybody's kissing. What happened when you have an infection?
Yeah.
I love it, Louise.
It was the water for me.
I thought that was the best part of the whole thing.
Yes. It reminds me of our time of Lent, during which we fast and meditate.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. And I see where it starts this year on March 29th.
Yeah, Nyepi starts on March 29th this year. Yes, yes.
Lord,
Well, actually, Catholic, the Lent has already started.
Yes, Lent has started, but it reminds me of that season, our season.
yes.
Yeah, it's Nyepi is a Balinese tradition. It's for self-reflection. It's drive away the evil spirits away from Bali, and those different principles. I mean, we could. I love our sessions because we could apply some of the things, from what we learn in our daily life. So an hour a day, or maybe you pick one day out of the week where, you just keep things simple and low, and just a day of
Alex, you're
is
breaking up.
always great. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So again, I will definitely try to incorporate some of these ideas into my daily life, and I think it will help out. So
Well, you know, Alice, it speaks to the way diversity enriches us. I think,
hmm
and we're trying to do away with diversity in this country, but diversity enriches. Mm-hmm.
sure does. We're in DC. We're a
This has
melting pot of.
always been a diverse country.
Yeah, DC's been such a melting pot, and it's in our best interest to learn about all different peoples, so that way when we speak to others, we can be mindful of and surprise folks because of how knowledgeable we are, right? And it shows our appreciation for
Yes.
different cultures,
And you won't say things that are offensive because, you just didn't know.
Right.
Right. And if that ever happens, we're all human, we make little things like that happen sometimes, but when we recognize that and acknowledge that to others, it really makes them feel more welcomed and just all that good stuff. So I really appreciate that, Yvonne, for sharing, and everyone else too. I love it. You guys always make me laugh, so we always have fun on these sessions. So thank you so much. Another video on Nyepi, so just another perspective and what it's all about. So gonna hope you guys like this video and enjoy.
Nyepi is a New Year day in Balinese calendar. It is also known as the day of silence in Bali.
Hello, everybody.
The one day before Nyepi, there is a Ogoh-Ogoh parade. It's called Pengurupukan Day, where
How y'all
a
doing?
lot of Balinese people already make a creature like a monster. After the Ogoh-Ogoh parade, they usually will burn the Ogoh-Ogoh. After you burn the Ogoh-Ogoh, that we believe that all the evil things, the bad things, will go out, will move. So Bali will neutral again, will clean. There are 4 rules that you have to follow during the Nyepi. So the first one is you are not allowed to go outside or traveling. The second one is not allowed to turn on the light or fire. Third one is no work, so no activity. You have to stay at home during Nyepi day. And the fourth, you are not allowed to have party or making noise for 24 hours.
Again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hey Sandra, hope you're well. I love seeing the actual people and the streets. Any quick thoughts before our next section?
So, what do they do with the children? Like, I mean, babies and little kids, they do make noise.
Keep them in the house.
They
Yeah.
keep them locked in.
Yeah, keep them in a room with.
That's the rule. I mean, I guess if your house do
Wherever, yeah.
obey the rule, they come for you.
No, as long as you're in the home, and of course, I'm sure they take that into consideration. But all in all, again, it's a celebration, it's a public holiday, so there's no work, no one is working, everyone is home. There's no lights, there's no traffic outside. It probably is very serene, like you could hear a pin drop like from miles away. I mean, that sounds like an amazing experience for that, and I love it. I love the idea of this holiday for self-reflection.
So I wonder what would happen if the rules are broken and Who's enforcing
They
these
come for
rules?
your house.
Yeah,
There
who's
there
enforcing
goes
these rules?
instigator.
I'm not instigating. I just want to know.
I'm just joking with you, Brenda. No, I had thought about that too, so but
We'll get into that. I
okay.
would definitely, you know, as you know, the world, you know, changes. Of course, you know, there's more things, more advances. So, yes, we will definitely go. I thought that too, you know, when I first
Yeah.
heard of this. So we're gonna go into that. So I got
You know what the other slide said that you know, if you have an emergency, it will be tolerated. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
But if you're real loud on the street, now if you're real loud and boisterous, I guess the police will arrest. It's just like if you're drunk here on the street. You know, they'll either ignore you or you know, or arrest you. That's what I think. But I think most people will do the right thing and just stay inside.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Again, it's an island, you know, all the folks are, you know, they pretty much, you know, are within each other, and this happens every year and been going on for such a long time. So they have that preparation the day
It's in
before.
their culture, right? So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
remember
Thank you
when I
again.
was a little girl on Sundays, we never opened any stores. Everything is locked down.
Yeah, the blue laws. They call them
Yeah.
blue laws.
Yeah, we had that, and you could only go to church, and everybody that sell alcohol, they have to lock that down. And the road looked like it was a dead street. I mean, nobody moved. I was a little girl then. Now they change a little.
Yeah, but that sounds very similar to this. They have that special day of the year or the month or the, you know, the week, and they, you know, they just have these different customs available. And it's not, of course, it's not a bit. I love the idea of this holiday again, self-reflection, just you know, being able to, you know, have that day, a public holiday. I mean, that we need that here in the
But
US.
we're free here. We have too much freedom here.
Yeah, I wonder if they have an airport, and you wouldn't travel, of course, during Nyepi time, but I wonder if they have an airport. And I guess
think
they do.
Yeah, they have an airport. They referenced an airport and airplanes a little while back in the film.
Is it actually there, or is it you have to go and travel?
I don't know. Well, remember they said the airports were closed, no planes would fly.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Jeremy. Yes, in the video, I did show the airports were flights. There was no coming in, no
and no
coming out.
going out.
No.
Yeah, which is amazing. I mean, for a day, for a public holiday, I mean, that's a, you know, that doesn't occur here.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just so interesting. I love it. Thank you all so much for sharing your perspectives. We got a couple more. Again, another perspective, more videos. These they mentioned the ogu. These are these monsters that they've created. So
yeah, some of them things are ugly.
Hey, so
and scary.
they sure
yeah,
make
they're
scary.
definitely an eyeful. So let's take a look at more about this day.
I don't like those.
My recent visit to Bali, I was fortunate enough to be there while the festival of Nyepi was on. This is the Balinese Day of Silence that's commemorated once a year on the Saka New Year, and this year it happened on the 7th of March. It's a Hindu celebration which is mainly celebrated in Bali, but it's also a public holiday for the whole of Indonesia. It's a day of silence, fasting and meditation for the Balinese. There are a number of rituals in the lead up to Nyepi, including the parading of Oga Oga the night prior. Oga Oga are giant papier-mâché effigies that are creatively built to depict demons, otherwise referred to as Bhutakala. These can measure up to 6 meters in height, built by different youth groups in competitive spirit. The best creations are paraded throughout the village streets on Nyepi Eve. While we are watching the parade, all the village groups congregated on a large patch of land, where the village groups then proceeded to have a dance-off with their finest Oga Ogas.
Penampilan dari ogo-ogo ini cukup
Observed from 6 AM until 6 AM the following morning, Nyepi is a day reserved for self-reflection, and as such, anything that might interfere with that purpose is restricted. The main restrictions are keeping lights low, not working, no entertainment or pleasure, no travelling, and, for some, no talking or eating at all. The effects of these prohibitions is that Bali's usually bustling streets and roads are empty. There's little or no noise from TVs and radios, and few signs of activity are even seen inside homes. The only people to be seen outside are the pekalang, these traditional security men who patrol the streets to ensure the prohibitions are being followed. For the day of Nyepi, I was staying in a villa with a bunch of friends, and of course, we had no entertainment or pleasure at all. Overall, I found Nyepi a great spectacle to witness. The parades were impressive, and there's very few places in the world where absolutely everything stops for a day. I would certainly recommend it if you're passing by.
Oh, I love that video. It had the celebration in there, and you know, an outside person going in, and you saw what they did on that day. Everyone was home, and they were just chatting amongst each other, keeping it real calm and collected. What do you all think?
I guess a lot of people look forward to that day. They didn't have to go to work.
Yeah, and they. Am I on mute? Let's see.
No, you're good, Geraldine.
Oh, and you could talk, but they were quiet, and they and it was low. You know, it was speaking. They weren't loud. So yeah, but no pleasure. So maybe no drinking.
Well, they was eating.
Well, they ate. Yeah, they had to eat a little something, but
that
nothing.
was one of the stipulations. No eating, no.
Well, in the video, they share that some of the families they don't talk or eat at all, but now you can eat. I mean, when they say pleasure, I'm not, you know, they mean like, you know,
going out.
Yeah, like large, you know, not gatherings, but just, you know, just literally
drinking
the noise.
and laughing loud. That's pleasurable. They don't do that.
They lock themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it says some of them fast, you know, some of them fast that day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't talk at all.
Yeah.
And you know, everyone's gonna celebrate it just a little differently. So, you know, staying within the prohibitions, but you know, I'm assuming many families may have their own internal, you know, celebration in quotation marks for that day. So, yeah, thank you so much. This was Nyepi 2024, so very recent, and then we're gonna look at 2025 before our trivia. So let's see what this video has to share.
Selamat datang, welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into one of the most unique and spiritually enriching festivals in Bali. Nyepi Nyepi, also known as the Day of Silence, is a Hindu celebration observed annually in Bali. It marks the beginning of the new year in the Balinese Saka calendar. In the days leading up to Nyepi, Balinese communities engage in various rituals and ceremonies. The most notable of these is the Melasti ritual, where people gather to purify themselves and their surroundings by cleansing sacred objects and taking them to the sea. As the day of Nyepi approaches, excitement fills the air. But when Nyepi itself arrives, a profound transformation takes place. On Nyepi Day, the entire island comes to a complete standstill. No work is done, no lights are lit, and no noise is made. It's a time for introspection, self-reflection, and meditation. Even the airport shuts down, and no flights are allowed to land or take off. It's truly a day of absolute silence and stillness. During Nyepi, locals and visitors alike are encouraged to stay indoors and refrain from any form of entertainment or revelry. It's a time to disconnect from the outside world and connect with oneself. The night before Nyepi, however, is a different story. It's when the famous Ogo Ogo parade takes place. Giant, grotesque effigies representing demons are paraded through the streets, accompanied by music and dance, symbolizing the purification of the island from evil spirits. As the sun rises on Nyepi morning, a new year dawns in Bali, filled with hope, renewal, and spiritual rejuvenation. And so, as we bid farewell to another Nyepi, we're reminded of the importance of silence, introspection, and the timeless traditions that make Bali truly special. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more cultural insights and travel adventures. Terima kasih for joining us on this journey. Sampai jumpa lagi until we meet again.
Again, any quick thoughts on this video? Again, anything else you realized about the celebration? Who would like to share?
Selamat
Well, they celebrate the day before, and they have the parade, and they cleanse objects, and so they do that. So the next day they are quiet.
That right there is scary.
Yeah, that's grotesque.
That definitely is a bad
It's like
spirit.
the devil.
That's the devil right there.
Yeah. And I like the way they said they connect with oneself during that time.
Yeah.
Which is good for, good mental health. And those ogres are supposed to, I think, cast away evil spirits. Those ogres.
Yep. I love it. Thank you all so much. This website right here talks about, again, Nyepi, so we'll go through this before we have our trivia, so make sure you all are ready for our trivia today. So, yep, this is one of the biggest days in Balinese island life. As we know, we learn for 24 hours. They follow those 4 rules. And Nyepi in 2025 will be March 29th this year, but next year will be the 19th, the March 8th, the next year. So it is possible for it to fall in April as well, but mainly in March. So again, you're gonna see these different paper mache. I mean, it's they are can be a little off-putting, but they're, I mean, wonderfully made. To be able to stand up like this and look, as real as it does is amazing, right? Um, so yes, there's the Malasti ritual. 3 to 4 days prior, they will gather all together wearing white to perform a procession. They will carry with them sacred objects from their local temples and carry them into the sea. This is an act of purification to help wash away any traces of evil from the past year. Isn't that interesting? The Ogu parades, yep, those are what the statues are called. They're made of paper mache. On the eve of Nyepi, these statues are paraded through the streets and are accompanied by thunderous music and even bursts of fire. And at the end of the parade, they are burned. They're meant to attract the attention of evil spirits. And the idea is that by the time that they arrive, the Day of Silence will be in full swing and no statues remain, and they will think that Bali is deserted and leave, disappointed, and ensure that there's no evil in Bali for another year. What do you all think of that? That kind of puts the pieces together, right?
Well, I was wondering, what did they do with the paper mache statues when they finished them? But I see now they burn them. Yeah, I see that.
I'm glad they burn them.
And then they make them new the next year.
Absolutely.
They need to burn some of that stuff.
Imagine walking up in the nighttime and seeing one of them.
That's enough to give you 2 heart attacks.
Well, at this time there will be a bunch of people together at one place, so you won't be by yourself. So yes, I'm happy to know that they included that. Is it compulsory? So it's in complete silence. Non-Hindus are not expected to in complete silence, but they're expected to stay at home and keep noise and lights to a minimum. And if you're in a hotel compound, you'll be allowed to use the pool and facilities. If you're in a villa, it's time to draw the curtains, dim the lights, and enjoy a day of peace. There's some different packages that they offer. I mean, it's a beautiful country, as you can see. So there's so many tourist locations and potential places you can visit. All the island is so beautiful. There are no delivery services and no shops open. Find many roads closed from 4 p.m. the night before. So it's the day before. Make sure you're in the home not too late. See the parade. Yeah, visitors are not required to spend the day in complete silence. These are the rules that we learned about in the video. Amit no longa, no pleasure, no traffic, no fire, no work. So I love this article. I definitely learned a lot. So
Yes.
Yeah, but if you're in the hotel, you can enjoy the pool.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean you
I
can still
guess
walk.
they did that for the tourists and yeah.
I mean that's you can be peaceful and quiet in a pool as well. So I mean that would just
Yeah.
add to the more of the self-reflection. Like
Yeah.
when you're in a pool, you feel like you're floating in air.
Yeah.
Just don't become the ugly American.
Oh,
Right, exactly.
To believe
yeah.
just telling other people.
Yes. Thank you so much, you all. I really appreciate your participation today. Thank you so much.
Like the lady said at Apple.
Uh-huh. So we are going to, with 5 minutes left for our session today, we're going to go into our trivia. So again, thank you all so much for participating. You all did an amazing job and we learned a lot, and I hope you all did as well. Thank you so much. For our trivia, we're going to be focusing on Bali trivia. So make sure you get your phones and your iPads and your devices. Google's your friend. And we'll do 5 questions. We'll take 3 answers for each question. So make sure you raise your hand so that way you can be called on and we'll see who is able to win a Wildtech fridge magnet today. We're going to have 2 winners. To raise your hand for the questions, I want everyone in Zoom right now to please hit react or reactions at the bottom of the screen. And then you can click on raise hand or tap on raise hand. Again, I'll take the first 3 answers for each question. So again, make sure you raise your hand so that in time, so you could be called on and potentially win a prize. So I see we have 3 hands. Can we get some more? Again, looking forward to a lot of participation. And again, just by answering a question or two, you may win a Wildtech fridge magnet from us. Okay. All right, thank you all so much. I see we have about 6, 7 hands. You all can hit lower at the bottom. Don't forget to lower your hand and mute yourself after your answer, just so everyone is able to hear and understand each other, okay? All right, thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. And we are going to do our Bali trivia. So we're going to do the even number questions, okay? So not this first one that we're gonna start off with, okay? Let's see what we learned. So what is the main religion in Bali? So Christianity, Islam, Buddhism. Many of the videos we talked about Hinduism. So we won't know the answer until the end. So again, this is not the question. So again, make sure again, you guys are ready to raise your hands for our first question, but we won't know the answers until the end. Okay, which picture shows the Indonesian flag? Please reply with top left, top right, bottom left, or bottom right. Which of these shows the Indonesian flag? Again, I'll take the first 3 hands for this question. The top left, the top right, the bottom left, the bottom right. Okay, I have 1 hand, 2 hands, one more hand, you all. Okay, thank you. We got Brenda first. What do you say?
Top left.
Okay, thank you so much. Miss Doris, what do you say?
Top.
Oh, my bad, Miss Doris. Say that again for me, please. Uh, make sure you hit unmute, okay? My bad. That was on mute.
Top left.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then we got Sandra. Good job, Sandra. I see you. What do you say? You got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle. Sandra, you there? You got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle, okay? Sandra, are you there? Again, make sure you hit unmutes in the middle so that way you can unmute yourself, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. Top right. Top left, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you so much, Sandra. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so everyone here said top left, so we will go on to our next. So this is our next question, and we'll see if that's right at the end. Everyone said top left. Okay, again, number 4. This is not the question. Next question is, which volcano is the highest mountain in Bali? Is it Mount Rinjani, Mount Batur, Mount Agung, or Mount Merapi? Which volcano is the highest mountain in Bali? I'm not, if they really mean volcano, but which mountain or volcano is the highest mountain in Bali? Take the first 3 hands. Again, raise your hand. See if you can answer it right and see if you can win a magnet. So, any other hands? Is it Mount Rinjani, Batur, Agung, or Merapi? Okay, we got 2 hands. We need one more hand. One more. Okay, thank you so much. All right, Brenda, what do you say for this one?
I say Merapi, the last one.
Okay, thank you. Anne, what do you say?
I say Agung, Agung.
Okay, thank you so much. And then we got Mr. Thomas. What do you say?
I believe it's the bottom one, like Brenda's.
Okay. Yeah, are you saying Mount Merapi,
Mount
Mr.
Merapi, yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, so we got 2 for Merapi, 1 for Agung. We'll go with Merapi since that's the majority. Again, we'll see at the end who is right. Okay. Again, number 5, not the question. Number 6, which of these animals is often worshipped in Balinese temples? Are elephants, monkeys, crocodiles, or tigers? First 3 hands. And which of these animals is often worshipped in Balinese temples? Elephant, monkey, crocodile, tiger. See if I can say that a little bit. Okay, we have 1 hand so far. Surprise, I thought this would be a hot one for you all. Hint, hint. Okay, we got 2 hands. We need 1 more hand, you all. 1 more hand. Again, I'll take 3 answers for this one. Okay. All right. Well, I see we got 2 hands, so we'll go with those 2 hands. I appreciate you all so much. Mr. Thomas, what do you say for this one? Thank you so much.
Definitely monkey.
Okay. Thank you. And then Anne, what do you say for this one?
Well, I just looked it up and it said the temple elephant, so I thought it was a monkey too, but I'll go with the temple elephant.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Anne. And thank you so much for answering, you guys. I really appreciate that. Again, I take up to 3 hands for each one. So, if you may not know, then take a chance, okay? I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's go with let's go with elephant for that one, and we'll see what it is at the end. 2 more questions, you guys, okay? So our next one is, which place is known as the cultural and artistic center of Bali? Is it Seminyak or Nusa Dua, Sanur, or Ubud? Again, Seminyak, Nusa Dua, Sanur, or Ubud? Which place is known as the cultural and artistic center of Bali? Take the first 3 hands again for this one. We got 1 hand so far, 2. All right, we got 3. Thank you so much. Mr. Thomas, what do you say for this one?
Umbud.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Thomas. We got Ms. Brenda. I see you. What do you say?
Umbud.
Okay. And then we got Anne. What do you say, Anne?
Umbud.
All right. Appreciate that, you all. Thank you so much. Great, great, great. We got one more trivia. This one's not the next one. We'll go with Umbud. Everyone said Ubud for that one. We know what this one is, but that's why I didn't ask you all because this is too easy. Which festival is celebrated as the Day of Silence in Bali? We know it's Nyepi, right? But that's why we went with the even ones today, okay? We knew that. But it's good, good, good. I see the hand, so I love it. Last one. What is a warung in Bali? Is it a temple, a hotel, a souvenir shop, or is it a small restaurant? Get any takers? Please raise your hand if you like to answer, okay? All right, we got 3 hands. Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Doris, what do you say for this one?
I'm gonna say temple.
Okay. All right, Ms. Doris, thank you so much. We got Ms. Brenda next. Thank you.
I say a small restaurant.
Okay. And then last but certainly not least, we got Miss Yvonne.
Small restaurant, Alex.
All right. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And all the different responders today. Amazing job. And let's see how you all did. So let's submit our quiz. Again, you can really Google anything these days. So I love that this was created for us. So please ignore the score. So our first one, which picture shows the Indonesian flag? Yes, the top left. So everyone got that correct. So good job to Miss Brenda, Miss Sandra, Miss Doris. It's known as the Sang Merah Putih, consists of 2 horizontal stripes. The red symbolizes courage and the white represents purity. The flag's design is simple yet deeply significant. It was officially adopted in 1945, independence from Dutch colonial rule. Okay. And it's shared with the flag of Monaco, the colors, but the 2 flags have different historical origins. So good job. Number 4, it is Mount Agung. Mount Agung is Bali's highest and most sacred volcano, playing a central role in Balinese spirituality. So good job, Anne. You got that. Good job. All right. Let's see which of these animals is often worshipped in Balinese temples. So the answer is monkey. So monkeys, especially in places like Ubud's monkey forest, are seen as sacred and are often associated with temples. So good job, Mr. Thomas, for that one. Ubud is the cultural and artistic center of Bali, known for art galleries, traditional crafts, and performances. So good job to Mr. Thomas, Miss Brenda, and Anne. You all knocked that out of the park. And then our last one, what is a room in Bali? It's a small, often family-owned restaurant or cafe where locals and tourists alike enjoy traditional Balinese meals. So wow, you all did amazing. Again, good job to Brenda and Yvonne for that. So if you give me all 1 second, I'm going to enter in our correct answers for today. Again, good job, you all. I hope you all had fun and learned about this celebration. I look forward to our other Wednesdays in March. Again, we're going to be taking a look at some more celebrations as well across the world here in the US as well. So I hope you guys have been enjoying our sessions. All right, just confirming that I have everyone's name in our wheel. Yeah. Great job, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's see who our 2 winners are for today for our trivia. So we got Brenda, Yvonne, Mr. Thomas, Ms. Anne, Ms. Sandra, Ms. Doris, all in the running for a prize today. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We got Yvonne as our first winner. So again, congratulations, Yvonne. Thank you so much for participating. And our last winner for today is Miss Doris. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Yvonne and Miss Doris, for coming on. And you have won a Wild Tech fridge magnet from us. So
Thank
congratulations.
you, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, it's our pleasure. Again, make sure you thank Lou when you come on. I'm so happy we were able to provide those to you all, and you'll have a memory of Wild Tech. So,
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes. No, it was a pleasure to present our session today. I really appreciate it. And make sure y'all come on for our module at 1:30 if you'd like. But next Wednesday at 12, we'll be doing another March celebration around the world or here locally. Thank you so much. And let's say thank you and congrats to all of our winners, Yvonne and Miss Doris. And I hope you all enjoyed our session today. Have a wonderful
Congratulations.
Yeah, nice session.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you.
Congrats to everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
You enjoyed
Congratulations.
Thank
today.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Hey.
See you all soon. Have a
All
wonderful
Okay.
day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Mhm.